from me.
All right. So first one, we're checking if it is a proportion. So when you have two fractions, like 4 over 2 and 20 over 6, to check it's a proportion, the most straightforward way is to cross multiply. I'll turn back on. And then set equal to each other. So in that case, you're going to do 2 times 20 equals 6 times 4. So 2 times 20 equals 6 times 4.
So
40 equals 24? That's not true. So because that's not true, that's not proportional.
Yeah, when did you learn this?
This is the first lesson, so I don't know whenever that was. If you do something like this, God bless you, 4 over 3 and 8 over 6, you cross multiply. In this case, it's going to be 3 times 8 equals 4 times 6. 24 equals 24. It is the same, so you do say proportional, okay? This is not proportional because they're not the same. If they are the same, they are proportional. Sometimes I give you just a variable, so you got to find the missing part of the proportion. So for number, for the first part, yeah, you're just telling me it's proportional. The first part of this work. Okay, to figure out it's proportional, we're going to cross multiply. Again, if you hear proportions, you're probably going to cross multiply.
Is that K?
Yep. This is number 7 on the first sheet. So it's going to be 8 times K equals 10 times 4. 8K equals 40. Oh, no. For these ones, they are equal.
They are equal.
So you could find K. Divided by 8, divided by 8. K in this situation equals 5.
Wait,
6.
1 second.
Go ahead. This doesn't show up on this sheet, so I'm going to make one up.
Yeah, when are we getting that back?
No, you did the makeup, right? I haven't graded the makeup yet because everyone has to make it up.
Wait a minute. Am I allowed to make it up? I did so bad.
Wait, makeup? I didn't make it up.
You did it late, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Oh, my gosh. I thought you meant like a retake.
Oh, no.
I need to retake.
So here's another version of the question. Let's say 10 equals x plus 2 equals 6 over 3.
Are we gonna have the formula sometime?
What formulas would they be?
We're
The interest formulas?
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
Please say yes.
I'll think about it.
Thank
Think
you.
about what?
The formulas.
No,
How much for you?
He's putting it on the
$10.
Really? That's it?
Well, I'm not going to say any more on the video, but sure.
So like actually? Sorry,
Ow.
I'll take it.
I'll pay you right now.
All right.
But what am I paying him for? That was paying
to put the formulas on the test.
So you're going to distribute these
Formulas
sixes.
for what? For the interest.
Which one is this?
Oh.
Plus
the
12.
formulas.
I made this one up. So in this situation, when you have a little equation here, you got to make sure when you multiply, you distribute. So 6x plus 12 equals 30, minus 12, minus 12. 6x equals 18, divided by 6, divided by 6, x equals 3. Alex, you left some money here. I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel like guys are more like cash, like guys use cash more, and girls use card more.
Well, don't you know girl math?
What?
What?
Don't you know girl math?
I'm sorry. That's
If
the
it's
most
cash, it's
insane
free.
thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I know. But
What does that mean?
no, there's certain times I do girl math because it makes me feel better about myself.
That's what is girl math. It's called special accounting, but they just
I
call
don't
it girl math.
understand why we need to gender math.
I don't know either, but that's what they call it, so I gotta use it with his reference.
I love girl math.
I love girl math.
If my
All
mom
right.
is
My
paying,
internet
it's
connection's
free.
not working. If I always like if it's
All right.
It's free.
Let's just
It's
write it
free.
down.
So the first one,
Pace, it's very
percent
fast.
to decimal. So number one in this situation, I'm in the next second
I know how to
Alex,
do
Second
take
page.
the money out again. I know how to get him to take it.
is 90%,
No. I'm not.
and you got to
I'm not
convert
waving
it
your hand.
Oh, there's
into
no-
decimal.
I won't. I don't.
So I'm gonna do 1, 2.
Where are we?
I'm on the third page, I guess. Fractions, decimal, percent is the title.
So it's 0.90.
So it's gonna be 0.9. Yep.
9.
You could put 0.90, but 0.9 is the same thing. On the little sheet, it says go to the thousands place. You don't need to. So,
Mr.
you know.
Vogel, would you mind donating this to some poor people for me? Thank you so much.
I can't miscalculate. I work for an official charity. I cannot do something like that.
Are you sure? Oh, I guess I'll just leave it here for someone to pick up. Oh wow.
And then the so this becomes a decimal, so it's 0.9 or 0.90. Definitely you want to make sure you do that for that part.
That's it.
So the next part,
Okay, I want the formulas.
It's God telling you something. My reason is God told me. Is this a joke? Swear by this. What are you doing?
just plugging in and replugging in, which is the classical fix for everything.
It really hurts.
The next set,
Alex, no.
which is write the percent,
Alex, the formulas.
Bills.
write the decimal into a percent.
Those are
So in this case, like 9, it's going to be 0.452,
Which one is this?
number 9 on that page. So we're changing the decimal into a percent, so we move it twice to the right.
So it's just the same thing, just opposite, no?
Perfect, yeah. So 45.2%.
I can handle this. Just wait till we get to other stuff.
When we have that attitude, just think you could do it.
Think on the right side.
That's right. Cup half full now.
People say, like, if you're going into a new thing, like walking with your right foot to have like the right something, like, I don't get that. Like,
I think the trick is because you're thinking about, I want this to be right, it just makes it better, whether you put right foot or left foot.
yeah.
All right.
I'm
Write
so scared right
the
now.
percent as a fraction. So the easiest way to write a percent as a fraction
Oh, this is what.
is you could always do, if it's 25, let's say percent,
Oh, can you just do it to a decimal, then like flip it to
Oh, yeah,
a
Of-
to a
of-
fraction on the calculator? That's like too long.
you could technically do that. That's for sure free. You could do that. Or percent to fraction.
What? What did you get? A 98. Good job. I thought I was gonna get like an 82. What the hell?
So
On this
I'm going to move the
No,
decimal
that's
points.
Congrats.
For this one, I'm sorry, I'm not moving a decimal
Wait,
point.
where are
Thank
you?
God.
This next page, it should be on the back of percent fraction decimals.
I guessed like over half the way.
So we're going to change this because it's
Oh, mark up
percent.
the
No, before that. It's the back of the literal back of the page. We're gonna put it 25 over 100. Because it's percent, it's always per 100. All right? And then you simplify, you can use a calculator for it, or you could do it.
1 over 4.
Wonderful, it's 1 over 4. So you always, because it's percent, you could always put it as decimal.
I think this year I'm actually really good at math.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, that's not me this year.
And this
But
one,
next year I'm gonna fail. I'm
fraction
not going to college.
to percent. So how are you gonna fail if you're not going to college?
I thought you only got to do
Unfortunately.
oh, that's awful.
For fraction to percent, you could change it to a decimal and then change it to percent. That's perfectly fine. By putting in your calculator, like let's say, I'm going to show you 2 ways, right? So you could put it in the calculator, 1 divided by 2. You'll get 0.5. You always could top divided by bottom. That's how you get your grades on the test. And then you could move it 2 to the right. So that would be 50%. That's one way to do it. If you want another way to do it,
I think I know.
the other way to do it, if I did 28, which is 1 over 8, is I'm going to set it equal to x over 100. Because remember, percent is per 100. I cross multiply, just like the proportions. So 8x equals 1 times 100. 8x equals 100. You divide 8 on both sides. x equals 12.5.
Would you say the first way is easier?
Because if you have your calculator, yeah, it's easier. If you're doing it by hand, it might not be that obvious, so cross multiplication might be the goal. Next part is markups, discounts, taxes.
We use 12.5.
12.5 should have been the final answer. 12.5%, I guess I should say. All right. Markup, discount, taxes. So I'm going to do number 2 just because it's a little easier for numbers on hand. So number 2, I'm going to mark it up.
Where are we?
Markup, discount, tax.
You're probably on the answer key. Oh,
So then we have the cost of the formula for this, I guess you could say, is your original amount, we'll call that principal, equals 1 plus or minus
I do not.
the percentage. I'll call it the rate in this case. All right?
That's it.
That's pretty much it. If you notice, it's kind of like a simpler version than the,
Are you giving us the formulas?
no. Unless, but no. So P equals 1 plus or minus R. So in this situation, the cost of the comic book is $3.95. And I'm going to do, because I'm marking up, the price is going up, I am plussing 0.2. Remember, you got to change that percentage into a decimal. So 3.95 times 1.2. You're going to have to put that in your calculator. I'll just look at the answer.
Oh, I do remember learning this actually.
Which is 4.74. This is number 2 on markup, discount, and tax. Okay?
But I bought so much stuff for them. It's like,
Yeah, I did.
and I'm gonna be buying stuff in Israel. Like, it's so bad the amount of stuff.
I think I spend more money on food than I do clothing.
I know.
I think it's
No,
That should make sense,
not
though.
me.
That makes
Not me. I
sense.
spend way more money on clothing.
I
If you
think-
go to my credit card, it's so bad.
If I
Well,
need
my
to know, I think
parents
it's better to spend money on clothing than food because at least you have something to show for it. But
You need food.
no, obviously.
This is like,
I'm saying, but I don't need to like go eat out every time I'm going to go eat out.
yeah, but you don't need new clothes every day. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, but at least you have something to show for it. Like
Fair
when I
enough.
spend money on food, I eat it and it's gone. Like
What's the worth? Yeah, I guess. What does it even matter? So this one, we're going to do P equals 1 plus or minus R, the same formula. But in this scenario, for number 9, it says it's a discount. So it's going to be $100 for the original concert tickets times 1 minus 0.21. So 100 times 0.79. In this case, it's going to be $79. 1 minus 0.21 is 0.79. On the back of the page is tax. So let's do number 17. The original price of the book was $49.95. And it's going to be 1 plus, because tax increases how much it costs.
Wonderful.
so
0.03.
tax is always plus.
It's going to be plus because you're increasing how much it costs, right?
How much is New Jersey tax?
It's an eight.
No, 6.75.
Oh,
Do you know what it is in New York? I think in New York it's 8.
I'm not sure what you do here.
I'll check.
Sales tax in New York.
I think New York, I think it's different. Like, you don't have tax.
Clothes is different, food is different.
Yeah, I don't really know enough for smart with that stuff. Oh, in New York. It's
Our next unit is tax unit, so we could talk about that. So we do 49.5 times 103, which
So
is
what is it in New Jersey that there's no tax on?
groceries. I know that.
Oh. No, because, like, my mom only buys, like, Uggs in Jersey because there's, like, no tax.
Really? That's so cute.
I didn't know that. If that's true, then
It's like, this isn't like, no, I'm not saying it's on video, it's so embarrassing. Remind me after.
sure.
Just remind me.
So
where and all.
I'm gonna consider this an extra one. This would be the harder version of this question. Let's say if I
want the audience to
let's talk about shoes, I guess. Let's say there's a pair of shoes for $80. I'm gonna get a discount for 20%, but in New York it's 8% tax. So notice there's two things going on here, okay?
Are you like gonna do this as extra credit on our test?
No. This is gonna be a normal credit question.
So you discount first.
No, that's out of pocket.
So, first thing you have to do is discount it
Let me write
because you're only paying.
So
Well,
you-
let's do the
it.
discount.
You basically do the problem twice.
Yes.
Oh.
So, because the first thing is discount, I'm gonna minus 0.2 over here. So 80 times 0.8.
Wait,
That's-
you're putting this on the test?
Yeah. This would be $64. So the price of the shoe is $64.
Which one are you?
But I made this one up.
Mr. Murder.
And then I'm on
Like a
video,
sacrifice,
video,
like,
video.
action.
No, there's a baby hanging from the ceiling.
He's recording.
I am recording, but
Really?
yes.
So I don't know what happened to this baby. I just walked in the hallway. I saw a baby hanging from the ceiling, and I've never punched something so hard in my life.
Why did you punch it?
If you see a baby hanging from the
It's
ceiling,
a fake one.
This might be the one map that you are right.
Video, it's a
I'll-
fake
I'll-
one,
I'll-
please.
I don't want to speak too much right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
So 64 equals 1 plus 0.08 because I'm paying taxes on only the things I'm paying for. And since I'm only paying $64, I had to figure out what's my discount first and then figure out my tax. So 64 times 1 plus 1.08
Not too bad.
would be. Oh, man. Wow.
How'd you get
69.12.
Oh, 69. Oh, no.
So the amount you're paying is 69.12.
Now we only have 2 more lessons, right?
Yeah. Simple and compound. I guess 3 lessons because I split compound into 2 separate things. Simple and compound interest.
This class was going by like 5 seconds.
How many formulas are on the test?
Right?
I mean, if you want to count this as a formula, it's 1. We're going to do the simple
Is there a
interest,
formula for this too?
which is A equals P R T.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
Oh, you literally not bad at all.
Guys, I'm going to eye doctor tomorrow because like I'm having trouble seeing the board. It gets really fluffy and
With
then
glasses.
and then I squint my eyes and then I get a headache and then I can't read it.
So number 1,
I hope
my
you're wrong.
I
principal
wonder if I know.
is 34
I don't know if
100.
they need glasses,
You think you need glasses?
My rate
but I don't know if they're gonna give
is
me-
4%,
even though they know everyone has that.
Like reading glasses?
which is going to be 0.04,
Like reading glasses?
No,
or,
like-
and my time
'Cause, like,
is
if
going to
I'm
be
here
3
time,
years.
I mean, like, not reading glasses, like for
So you're
school or like
nearsighted.
all, like,
no,
where all
it's not like for school, just for reading things. It's like outside the tree.
Oh.
It's a fuzzy tree. It's a fuzzy tree.
So this gets you, I should say, the interest. So this gets you the interest. So it's I.
Like,
No, honestly.
So the interest is I.
if I- no, yeah, I would
So it would be
never
34
contact.
100
But I do.
times
They're
0.04
always gonna be-
times 3.
but like, I only.
This gets me my interest. So this is how much interest I earn. So it's going to be 34 100 times 0.04 times 3. So I'm going to get 4,092
Wow.
on my interest. No problem. That's my interest.
I'm calling my mom.
But if I want the total amount, I'm going to take this and add it to my original amount.
Bro,
So 34 100
Sir, why are you adding?
because I want the total amount in the bank account.
Do you have to do that just for all of them?
bro.
If you do it this way, yes.
What other ways did you do it?
I could give you a simple situation where I give you the end amount and you give me the principal or something like that.
That's a crazy interest.
Well, it's over 3 years, so. So that plus 34100.
Wait, what is the interest for? What am I paying for?
You could leave it in a bank and they're pay you or something like that.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
thought it was like a loan or something.
A little.
Thank goodness.
That's terrible interest.
Yeah.
It's not
For a
worth-
bank?
Like, it's not worth, like, holding on to that 34,000 for.
4% is not bad actually, but for a bank where it's like safe, right? Where it's bad is if you were doing that for a house that's like unsafe.
I have
That's
5%
not.
of my interest.
Hey, really?
Yeah.
Per month?
If you do a 6 month or a 9 month.
Oh, those are CDs. Yeah, those are different. Yeah. All right. The next one, we need compound interest. So the back of the page.
No, wait, no, that's continuous.
That's the continuous one.
Mr. Koval,
Yo,
you won't ask us a question like number 9 or 10, right?
what is 9 and 10? Let me see.
Well, you definitely should not. I forgot.
9 and 10?
Seems like it has to be.
Oh, I'm going to give you a decimal year. That's fine. Slash fraction year?
So I'm saying you won't have a fraction. Well, you get your-
9 the years. Technically, all the percents are decimals, so that can't avoid that. But so compound, okay. So we'll go into the back of the page. For number, the equation is the amount equals the principal times 1 plus r over n to the power of nt. Just a reminder, n is the number of times per year. So in this one, they say I put 7,300
So what's the T?
time.
Oh wait, never mind.
So the principal is the time. It is at 7%, which means mathematically I'm going to put it as 0.07. It's semi-annually. So if it's semi-annually, how often does that happen?
Every other year.
No, that's biannually.
Which number are you doing?
Once a year.
Twice a year. Every half year. What's up?
Which number?
I'm sorry, 11 on the back page. Since it says semi-annually, that means it happens twice a year. If I said monthly, it'll be 12 times. If I said weekly, it'd be 52. So know that. On the back of the page, the back of the simple page.
She's not in this class.
Oh.
And then time equals 3 years. So we just plug that in. The amount equals 7,300 times 1 plus 0.07
Wait, which question?
times 2, or divided by 2, to the power of 2 times 3. Remember, if I say semi-annually, that would mean 2 times a year. If I said quarterly, that'd be 4 times a year. If I said monthly, how many times a year would that be?
1.
12.
Oh, because it says semi, we know it's.
Yes. It's half a year, so this 2 years.
He's messing with us, but he said.
Alright, I'm bored now.
So,
I don't know what bar it should be.
0.07
It's okay.
divided by 2
We accept you.
plus 1.
I
So-
like her to ask me which teacher I met with yesterday.
That. I know, that's all funny, because when Cheryl said that, I'm like, didn't I just see each other?
I'm just gonna, I wanna say little beans, cause they still didn't send my transcript. I don't care what she said, she's lying.
You just don't believe her, huh?
No, it literally says on the CUNY thing, it says, I'll show you what it says. It says like required at Harvard?
Why is he having us take a test from Harvard?
Who?
Kirsch.
Bro, I couldn't even get the CSI, what does he want me to do a Harvard test?
It could be a test on the level you're asking for, but because it's Harvard doesn't necessarily make it hard. Just kind of gives it official.
I would never go to one of those colleges.
All right,
Not only cause I can't get in, I just
fair enough.
I'm rejecting that.
That's right. All right. All right, so compound interest is like that. Remember, I could also give you questions where
Wait.
you have the amount and you find me the principal. So I could give you that reverse situation. Okay.
Okay. We only have one thing left.
One last thing is when is compound continuous. So in this situation, it is A equals P times E to the power of RT. So this is where you get that special
It's
E.
actually bad. What do I tell him? I'm gonna say it'll be. I don't care.
So
Alright,
number
wait.
one,
But if he emails them, I'm screwed.
yeah. This person invests 8,911. So that's my principal.
Right.
In an account with a fixed interest rate of 7.71%, which means I need to rewrite it as 0.0771. How much will the account balance be after 20 years? So time is 20. So in this situation, A equals 8,911. E is a special button in your calculator, 0.0771. Yes, times 20. You have to do it in your calculator. You cannot do it by hand.
Which number is this?
Number one on the last page. So E to the power 0.0771 times 20.
What does the E stand for?
E is a very special number that one of the special parts about it is that the slope of the curve is the same as itself. So that's a big benefit of it, which means that you could use it for continuous. E is just a special number, kind of like pi in that sense. It's like 2.77 something. So then you got to take that and times it by 8,911. Your final amount should be 41,649.38.
This is for one, right?
Number one on that last page, continuous.
That's a wrap, right?
Yep, and just remember, I could also give you that reverse question. Yeah. I'm going to stop the recording though, okay?